Hey, welcome back to Don't Run with Scissors. I'm Kelly, your favorite Jeep driving lawyer, mom of twins with three crazy rescue dogs who likes to craft in her spare time, is training for Ironman, and has gone back to school full time to be an ASL certified interpreter here in Michigan. And I am co-owner of Jukebox Stitchery, and we are doing amazing. I think we're doing amazing work. So come on in, grab your coffee. It's going to be a short video because, well, you'll find out. It's all good though. It's amazing. And I am absolutely fine. So like nobody freak out. Um, it's just been busy. And that's yeah. So, um, if you're new here, usually I do a sign of the week. So because it gives me good chance to practice. So let's do the one. Let me set down my coffee. Um, so because it was our Tri Club huge weekend that we've been all fundraising for, and I've got a huge update on that one. Um, it was we let's do bike. So because I biked this last weekend, actually last weekend, I biked. So this is the sign for bike, kind of at mid chest level, bike. Um, I love my bike. I bike a lot. So bike is your new sign. I know you guys in the past have learned run, so now you can bike. And just to round out the three, I'll give you a bonus word, and that's swim. And this is literally swim, like you're swimming. Which is funny because I don't swim like this. I swim like this. But this is the sign for swim. So who knows? Whatever. Um, so this last week we had a big test in ASL. I had two tests due in anatomy and physiology, and we had a project due in web design. I got it all done. I don't know how I did in ASL. It is natural that you're going to forget words. Like when you're learning a new language like that when you're in a test situation, you're going to forget words. I do. I can't help that. It is what it is. But I remember a lot of things, so like overall, I'm fine. Um, so all is good. I still have an A in anatomy physiology. I think I have an A. I have an A in web design, and I think I have a B plus ish, maybe an A minus in ASL. He doesn't grade like he still hasn't graded some of our projects. And then he said that he's going to give us each at the end of the semester, we each get 10 points, not 10 percentage points, obviously, because that's a huge jump. Although I'd be grateful with that. But 10 points with some of the like little stupid points that I missed here and there on projects would boost me up into a solid A, I think. So who knows? Whatever. I am trying not to stress and obsess about my grades and just know that I'm doing my best work. And that's all that I can do. And if that translates into another semester on honor roll, fantastic. So, um, I also found out I got a grant that covered all but $28.17 of my tuition this semester. So now I need a tuition. I need another grant for $28.17 so that I can say I was on a full ride. So if anybody knows a $30 grant, let me know because I think that's funny. Um, so they refunded the tuition I had paid. What I'm going to do is I'm going to set that aside and pay for my summer semester, and not have. Ideally, that's what I'm going to do, and not have to worry about things. So I have a big hearing today at 2 via Zoom. And so yeah, so this last weekend, as everybody knows, I've talked about it quite a bit, was our big huge fundraiser for 42 Strong. 42 Strong was started by Tate Mears' father Buck, who is a teammate of mine. If if you're not familiar and you're new to the channel, first of all, welcome. Um, Go ahead and hit the like and subscribe button. It sends me a little note. It boosts my self-esteem, and we all need that. If you're returning, welcome back, and you already know the drill. I love you guys. Yay. Okay, so 42 strong. Tate was one of the 4 children who were tragically murdered at the Oxford school shooting here in Michigan, which is my next town over. His dad, Tate's dad, Buck, is a teammate of mine through my tri club. So this last weekend we did a huge fundraiser, and we are still, the donations are still coming in. If you can donate, I would greatly appreciate it. Again, if you do send me a note, I will send you a thank you little present. So we biked. My coach and I had like developed a plan that would honor the purpose of the weekend and let me participate while still working within the confines of where my training was at and has been and what my body would potentially hold up and do. My plan was over the 3-day course to bike 140.6 miles, which is the mileage of a full Ironman. Now, normally it's broken up into the 3 disciplines, but I was going to do them all biking. We started off Friday going pretty strong. I actually ended up putting in 17 miles. I was only supposed to do 2.5. I was like, dude, who gets on a bike for 2.5 miles anymore? That's not to do, if that's where you're at, then that's a fantastic ride. Okay, absolutely fantastic. Not dissing anybody, but for me, that's not a typical ride. Like, my legs don't even start to loosen up at 2.5 miles for me. So I ended up doing 17, was like, okay, I made sure I fueled a lot. Because of some of my medical conditions, I know that my stomach doesn't and system doesn't process food as fast as a normal person. So I knew that on Saturday was going to be my long ride. I was slated to do 112 miles. I have to kind of fuel on Friday then, as if my body is burning the calories on Saturday, if that makes sense. So I made sure I ate well. I made sure I ate things that were gut friendly for me, that I got up Saturday morning. I still put in some good solid protein. I had some eggs. I had a piece of banana bread, had my coffee, made sure I drank tons of fluids. I drank almost 150 ounces of water during my ride. And I ended up slugging out just over 150 miles on Saturday. I was feeling it. I rode about 2 hours with my small TENS unit hooked up to my back and hips. I had lidocaine patches on. I had taken my pain meds from my doctor, which my doctor was totally on board. Like, I knew what I was doing. We executed the plan very well, and we went above and beyond what the expectation of the day was, or what my goal was. So my coach and I kind of kicked it around, and my coach was great. He was with me. My coach actually lives in New York. So John was with me. Like, and when I was really struggling, he sent me. So he's like, "We got this. Like, if you want to keep going, you can keep going. You know, you're doing great. You've met the goal of the day. And then we got to the point where we met the goal of the weekend. He's like, you can call it, and nobody is going to, like, look bad at you for what you did." And I thought, no, I still have more in me, and this is too important for me. And so he sent me some hype videos that I watched on my phone. My friends are, like, people who know me here, you know, there was a lot of cheering on, and just knowing, like, okay. And so when I finally called it for the day, I rode for 9 hours, right around 9 hours. And I had trouble getting off my bike, and my back was just, I was done. And I thought, okay, so I couldn't hardly, like, for some reason, you would have thought like Saturday night I would have crashed in bed. I did not. I had trouble sleeping. So I got up early Sunday morning because I was like, fine, I'm up. And I was like, I texted my friend and I said to Jason, I said, I know we talked about me getting up and maybe doing 42 miles, which would have taken me about 2.5 hours to do on Sunday. And 42 was Tate's number. He played football here for Oxford. He was slated to go and play college ball as well. And I said, I was hurting. Not even gonna lie. Yeah, it was rough. And I said to Jason, I said, I think 42 might turn into 4.2. And he's like, nobody's gonna fault you for that. Like, are you kidding me? Like, you've done way more than anybody would have, like, anybody else would have expected you to do. Like, don't feel bad. Like, and everybody's like, look, if you don't even get on the bike today, it's okay. And I'm like, nope, nope, we're getting on because at the end of the day, and I posted this on Instagram and on Facebook, and I said, at the end of the day, I'm hurting physically. And I was fried emotionally. I'm not even gonna lie. Like anytime you do a huge event like that and a huge long ride, it's hard to describe. And if you know, you know, and if you don't, I don't know how to explain it in a way that makes sense. And I apologize for being like that. But there's like this emotional crash that you have. And I said, at the end of the day, I'm sitting here on my bike in the luxury of my living room, which is still a disaster area, and I still need to finish painting and the flooring and everything. And I said, I'm sitting on a bike that I was blessed to be able to afford. I got a grant through the Challenge Athletes Foundation. I bought it used. It fell into my lap. The timing on some things worked out, and I'm sitting on a bike that's worth more than most people could fathom because race tandems are expensive, and I'm not gonna lie, like, it still cost me a pretty penny. I've spent hours sitting on it. I've paid to have it professionally adjusted to fit properly so that I didn't end up doing damage to my knees, to my hips, and it wouldn't be painful to ride for the distances that I ride. But at the end of the day, my kids are here in my house, and I get to hug them, and I get to go into their room still. And yes, I know my kids are 21, and maybe this sounds creepy, but I think if you're a parent, you're a parent, or if you're an aunt or whatever, or even if you just have that special person in your life, you get it. At the end of the day, I get to go in and I get to look at my kids and thank God they're safe. Buck doesn't get to do that with his son anymore. And sorry. And I thought, this is too important to give up now. And so we got on a bike on Sunday morning and I biked 42 miles because at the end of the day, I get to hug my kids every day. And even when we're fighting and we're bickering back and forth or we're doing whatever, I have my kids here. And I have a teammate who doesn't have that luxury, doesn't have that privilege anymore through no fault of his own. And so I biked. And so we finished the weekend at 201 miles. And I'm not going to lie, it hurt. Um, Towards the end of my ride Sunday morning, we actually had a couple incidences where I was throwing up. I mean, my body was done. I can honestly say that I put it all out there this weekend. I can't tell you the last time I have thrown up during a training ride, um, or a weekend, or a workout in general. That's it's been a long time. Usually it's when I'm running, and it was before the last round of brain surgeries. Uh, so yeah, um, we did it as a club as of last night, and donations are still coming in. As a, we initially set the goal of $10,000 as a club. We wanted to raise $10,000, and then we doubled it because we passed $10,000. So we doubled it. We beat that. And as of last night, we as a club have so far raised $33,000 for 42 strong. And now our goal is $42,000 because what an amazing gift that would be. So again, if you can donate even $1, um, it would be a big deal. Um, Asking somebody to donate $1 per mile that I rode, that's a lot of money. So like, I wouldn't expect that, but if each one of my friends donated $1, that would still raise another several $1,000s. Um, and so, yeah, so that's how I spent my weekend. And as a result, I didn't really stitch a whole lot between tests and projects um, and work and then biking. Um, we didn't stitch a whole lot, and I don't regret a thing. So if you're here looking for a whole lot of stitches this week, sorry to let you down. So that said, the other thing you'll want to do is check out Jukebox Stitchery, both on Facebook and Instagram. Sorry, my eyes are all crying. I don't, I'm not a crybaby, so you guys know, like, yeah. I do have an appointment this afternoon with my massage therapist. I took some time like I said, I really rested last night. I did go for a short walk yesterday with my daughter. We walked the mall. I probably did about a mile. We have an indoor big mall, and she had to go pick up a game that had finally come in that I had pre-ordered for her for Christmas. Um, don't ask me what game. It's some sort of, I think it's a Pokemon game, but I could be wrong. I could be wrong. Kirby comes in the end of the next month, and that's the other game we're waiting on. I went and had breakfast with a friend after I finished my bike, and we went and had breakfast with friends, and then ran to the mall. I did some walking, hopefully to kind of loosen things up. Um, this morning I'm actually feeling pretty good. I'm actually surprised at how well I feel. Knock on wood. Are we still hurting? Yes. Am I still way farther ahead on my recovery than I thought I would? Absolutely. Do I think that an hour and a half with my massage therapist is going to help? God, yes. So, this weekend I have another test in ASL. Probably have another small project in web design, and I have 2 tests I need to take care of for biology. I also have like 7 different court hearings. So it is a busy week. So we'll see how much, but no big training days coming up. My coach and I joked. I said, so what I'm hearing is we bike. He's like, so you need to take some time down and rest. And he's like, by rest. Oh, so that was the other thing. On Sunday morning, I texted him and I was like, you know, I'm on the bike. What, like, and he said, well, you should take it easy, like maybe a light 7 to 10 miles. I was like, yeah, we passed that. We're pushing 40 miles. And he's like, what the hell? He's like, you are the level of crazy that I love having as an athlete that I coach. And I was like, yeah. He goes, that's why. He goes, I will be here as long as you need me to send you inspirational clips, whatever you need to do, but let's not be stupid about it. And I was like, nope, we're going to stop at 42. And I texted him, like, yeah, we're throwing up at my back. And he goes, and where are you at? And I'm like, I'm at 41 miles. And he's like, okay. He goes, just pedal really fast and then coast it for the last mile. Like you're going downhill. It's like, that's not how homie plays it. So we were laughing. So yeah, so there was a lot of laughter during it all. Not gonna lie, like it was, yeah, it was good. Um, so I said, so what I'm hearing from you, John, is that we're not going to bike till Tuesday, and he's like, yeah, the 15th. And I go, but Tuesday's the 8th, and he goes, no, did you see what I did there? I was like, okay, a point taken. I said, so what I feel like is what you're telling me is that I need to swim and run, and I go, and I can do those as much as I want, knowing that I hate the run. Like I put off running as much as I can right now, and I don't know. I have to get past that mental block and start to embrace the suck of the run. And I just can't. I don't know. If anybody has any tips on getting past that point, I'd really appreciate it. So he goes, well, knowing how you feel about running, I don't think that's a problem. Me telling you go for it. Okay. And he goes, some swim would be good, some aqua jogging would be really good. And I said, all right. And he goes, and good solid nutrition. All right, we're good to go. So, we're laying kind of low as far as workouts this week. It's going to be a lot of just stretching and that. So, there's probably going to be more stitching this week than there was last week, but I'm not mad about that. So, we have been working on, what have we been working on? Oh, okay. So Jukebox Stitchery. So we have our big Valentine's Day release. Um, you can go to jukeboxstitchery.com and pay for either the PDF, a paper pattern to be mailed to you, or the kit. The kits are going out. I think they're slated to go out this week. They are limited edition. They are not sold out yet, so you still can go in. There was some problems with the website. All of that is worked out. The other thing is we just announced our big Black History Month release that we're doing. I think it's beautiful. Some of the designs in it are actually quilt blocks code, like which, and the pattern will include the information for that, where like the quilt blocks kind of give you the steps to the map to for the Underground Railroad and escaping slavery. But it's an old African proverb that I found, ironically, while listening to one of the inspirational videos that my coach had sent me, and I was like, this is it, because Clay and I were struggling to find the right, and I go, I've got it. And it says, if there's no enemy within, the enemy outside can do no harm. And it was like, that's the quote that needs to go on the pattern. So I think the pattern is beautiful. We are also offering a specially printed fabric that's this beautiful blue that Clay and I picked, that you could order as well. Um, because I'm doing the shipping, if you order both of them together, I'll give you the option to save on shipping, obviously, and I'll mail them together. So check that out. We also have a couple other patterns coming, that we'll be releasing and doing. But I'm loving the work that Clay and I are putting out there. We will also have, if you sign up for our newsletter, we're going to do a monthly freebie, and we've been kicking around what we're doing. And I like kind of our plan that we have, but I don't want to give that away. So I don't want to do a spoiler alert, but I think it's adorable and I think it's going to be wonderful. So, okay, so what are my stitching, you may be asking? Well, because my Whipco pulls were 10 days on Lindy Stitch's Funky Menagerie sale from last year and 10 days on Modern Folk Embroidery sale from last year, because are you seeing the theme there? If you're not new here, I joined everything last year, and I finished next to nothing about any sale that I joined. I don't know that I finished a single sale last year that I joined. Oh. Before we do that, before I'm all of it. Okay, so let me finish one train of thought before the other. Um, so in order for me to count a day as a day, I have to put in a minimum of 100 stitches. So some days I actually stitched technically 2 days, but because of the number of stitches was so low, it didn't count as a full day, if that makes sense. So I am at 5 days completed on my Lindy Stitches Funky Menagerie set cell. Um, this is the whole pattern. I am debating still whether or not I'm going to do these side borders. I think I am, because the more I look at it without them, because I have this corner emblem in and I have the top done, except for the spider. I have to go back in and do the little spider. It will look funny, I think. So we have 5 days done, which means I still have 5 more days. However, I'm not, well, the borders may take me the extra 5 days, but animal wise, we're almost done. There's I'm not sure if it's a squid or an I have to do, let's see. I have to do both these big birds, the bigger birds. I have to do the capybara and whatever is sitting on the capybara. Let's see, there's a worm and a chameleon. There's this little bird inside the border. The praying manatee and the turtle. Is that a squid or an octopus? Does anybody know? And then these two big birds. I don't know what, or no, not this. Wait. I know I have to do this bird. This bird and this bird I have to do. So, like, essentially I have this little chunk in here. Oh, like this. Whatever. I don't know why I'm picking to go in the order that I am as far as, like, I don't know. I think I pulled the ones that are, like, I was like, I'll knock out the small ones that are, like, solid colors. Because the bird, I don't know why the bird is just, like, that. The bird, okay, the bird's only got, like, 4 colors in it that's, like, blocking. It goes, like, right here. But I'm like, whatever. Anyways, here we are. I have to add the spider back up here, up in here. Here. I messed up the flowers. I'm not ripping them out. Some of my tulips are, I think they're tulips, whatever they are going the wrong way. I don't think you really can tell. I don't really care enough to rip them out because, and I have them in the wrong color order because yeah. Again, not changing. I'm not taking them out. If you're new here, you'll know that I just roll with it. If I make a mistake, as much as I can, I'll just roll with it because I apparently added in one too many for my beaver, and so, like, I'm whatever. Again, he's mine. Um, I really do think 5 more days and um, it's not going to be a problem to have this actually done. The border is kind of throwing me, like, that's the only part in the 5 days of getting, they might not be totally finished, but I'll finish it. So the other thing that I have been working on, I think we're doing the self-love sal, and that's hashtag self-love sal for February. This is my sort of my February heal me sort of thing and remind me that I'm enough. So it is by Birdie's Crossing on Etsy. It is, it's just fantastic. It is coated all in black and in 310. I am not doing it in 310. It's not that I don't like 310. I do. I like whatever. I don't have any problem against 310, but I wanted it more me. And why would I leave anything the way it's supposed to be? Hello, my 3 small words looks nothing like it's supposed to, but I love it. So I have decided on this as my palette. Whoop, maybe there we go. So it's kind of pinks and I don't know, it's kind of a beachy vibe is my goal. And what I did is I just went into all of my DMC boxes and um, pulled the colors that I love. I have not worked on it a whole lot, but I did start it. Wait, let me look. It's like this. My fabric is so stitched. It is an oatmeal 18 count. I think it's 18 count. I don't think it's, yeah. It could be a 16 or 18 count. It is really stiff right now. So I'm looking forward to that loosening up I stitch in hand. So honestly, like I'm constantly like balling up and bunching up my foot. And then I do the sewing method with my stitching. And that may be why normally I can get so much stitching done. So like when I do these, like I'm in the Utopia stitching group, like game, and I was like, how do you get so much done? And that is honestly why. Because I can, um, and I usually carry a project with me. So like if I'm waiting when I'm picking up one of my kids from class, I can get in some stitches, those kinds of things. Or like if we're on a break from class, I'll throw in a stitch. And stitches add up really fast. Um, so those, but so I have on the cell. I don't want to show it too much. That's what I've stitched so far is this little, um, and I'm just kind of, I have my 5 flosses. I'm gonna add in some silver in there, and I'm just gonna put the colors in. I know my colors all go well. I'm gonna put them in where I feel drawn to put them in, if that makes sense. And see how it goes. This may be one that as I stitch it, maybe I will rip out a color if it doesn't look right. I don't know. I tend not to do that. Um, I tend to think, okay, I'm very purposeful when I pull threads to make sure that they all coordinate or like, um, I think Jessie from Bobo Stitching, if you don't watch her, go watch her. She does some amazing pieces and she does quilting. I don't know if she knits or crochets. She's doing Lady Justice, and I have to do like Lady Justice is on my radar. I had gotten the pattern, and it actually arrived the day that Ruth Bader Ginsburg passed. Um, but I'm doing her robe. I'm gonna do a conversion so that her gown is black and her ribbon on her is purple, because judges wear black robes. Law is represented by purple. So that's my conversion. I may convert her hair a little bit so that it's more like matches mine. Um, but so Jessie had asked in her last video, how do you do conversions? And um, very clearly, I'm not a pro by any means, but this is my method on what I do. And maybe it will help because that's kind of how I did, 3 Small Words when I converted those colors and how I've done some other things. And what I do is, because I have a full set of DMC and I stitch really and truly 99% of what I stitch is DMC, just because it's easily accessible and it's fairly inexpensive here. So I have my full set. So what I will do is I will pull the DMC numbers that are called for and I will lay them out. And then I will go and I will pull kind of like the starting point of, like I will pull the medium purple. Let's say we're doing the ribbon on Lady Justice. I will pull the medium purple that I'm thinking of and I will place it, and I want to say on the original pattern it's like this weird blue. I think Mirabilia and Nora Corbett charted her dresses like this, like green, and then she's got like this teal color ribbon, like sash. I will pull the purple that I want to use, like that I'm thinking is medium, and I will set it to the medium color green that's called for. And then I will match, like, okay, so what's the next step? Like, if we go to the next step, teal, like how much of a jump is it? And I will find that equivalent in the purple, and I will lay them out sorted together to see. And then I set the called for aside so that I can kind of see my palette and go, okay, this is like, do we need to adjust? Like, where do we need to adjust? And that's how I do my color conversions. That's how I do even when I convert like skin tones. For skin tones, I also for my starting points, I start off at Lord Libidin's website. He has a fantastic um skin tone collection where he's kind of charted them out. But his skin tones, they're only like, I think they're sets of three. And sometimes you need more of a like subtle jump. So what I'll do is I'll lay out those three and then I'll find like, okay, what goes in between each of the three. Like, and then I have a set of five that I can base off of for skin tone. So those are how I do my conversions. I don't know that there's a right or a wrong. I've used other people's conversions and sometimes I've liked them and sometimes I've had to kind of fiddle with them a little bit to make me happier. Color is one of those things like that's the joy of cross stitching, guys, is you can do whatever you want. If you want a blue person, stitch your guy blue. Who cares? It's yours. Um, I know like I have the Sing a Song sampler from Silver Creek Samplers that I cannot wait to stitch. Um, I believe Jan Hicks has a color conversion where it sort of makes them pop and they're a little bit more brighter, vibrant, rainbowy colors. I'm going to start with her conversion and still sort of make it mine and make it um my plan is honestly to make it for my son, but I don't he's being weird about stuff. So to make it sort of more reflective of our family, I guess, color choices. Clearly if I stitch everything in my color choices, it'd be like that beachy vibe. I mean, that's just my personal preference, and I realize that that's not everybody's. Anytime that I do a conversion, feel free to ask me. I will always share my conversions. I don't keep things. I kept the notes on three small words and my conversions. I think I even kept, or I could, like, if you needed the little charts to my symbols, because I, the only thing I kept on three small words from Lizzie Kate honestly was the fonts and the words. Everything I changed the colors, I changed the symbols that went with each of the font or each of the little sayings. Um, I kept her order too that she did, but otherwise I pulled from here and there, kind of like melt. That one I did rip out things. I did not like it was crazy, like whatever. So I will always share that kind of stuff if it comes from me. So just know that. So um, otherwise, yeah. Uh, so, um, so yeah, I don't know what else. So between now and then, I'm hoping that I will finish Funky Menagerie, and I'm getting a little worried that we're getting later in the month because it is already the 7th, and this is a short month that I'm not going to get my full 10 days in on both my projects that were called for WIPCO. But my goals, I always set them yearly goals, so even if I don't make all 10 days on like the Modern Folk embroidery, I'll just like I'll obviously the usually I have an extra 10 days in a month besides my 20 that are called for. Um that if I wanted to overlap something, or like if I was close to a finish I could do it, or else I'll pull out one of my other whips that I'm working on and put it in stitches. But if I have to carry over into March to get my 10 days, I'm not going to freak out. I'm not going to freak out. It's not worth it. Um so yeah, so with that I'm going to let you go because um I have to change clothes for my hair today, this afternoon. Um, I'm so thankful it's on Zoom because I will be literally sitting in the parking lot of my massage therapist on my phone for Zoom, um, to handle it and go from there. Um, and yeah, I don't know. I'm planning. My goal today is to get the little turtle and the praying mantis stitched. Um, before class, after class. I have to not only get Bean and I to class this evening. Um, my mother is not taking my son to class tonight. So I have to get him to his campus and then back home. Yeah, on top of everything else. And who saw that coming? Yeah. So, with that said, I'm going to let you guys go. I'm going to get my day going even more, and we will talk next week. As always, if there's something I can do for you or whatever, feel free to message me on Instagram or Facebook or wherever. On Instagram, I'm His Princess Kelly. Um, yeah, just let me know. I will put in the information for 42 Strong, as well as the links to Jukebox Stitchery, and I don't. If I need to, I'm not sure what else I need to throw in there, but we'll figure it out. If um, and so yeah, so we'll let you go, and have a great week. Bye, guys.